Hello and welcome everyone to the 7 steps you must take to thrive as an image professional. This is Erin speaking right now. We're so glad you're here with us today for this presentation. I know we have people joining us from around the world in many different time zones. Thank you for taking the time. And if you'd like to say hi and where you're from, where you're joining from, why don't you do a quick let us know a quick note in the question box. We would love to see. So we're really excited to dive into this presentation for you. Here we go. You're in the right place today if you want to grow in your expertise so you can increase your business. You want the freedom to do what you love and make good income doing it. You want to get rid of any fears and confusion about how to build your career. You love to empower people to look and feel great about themselves. So whether you're just starting your journey or you've been going for a while, we have something for you. Curious if any of these resonate with any of you. We've got some notes in our chat box, and we've got people from California, Singapore, New Zealand, Florida. Wow, many different places. I don't know. Riyadh. Okay, I don't quite know how to pronounce that. Toronto, just to name a few. So we have a lot of different countries represented today. So here's a bit about us, your hosts today. This is Erin speaking. I'll be hosting and facilitating, and the guest of honor is Carla Mathis, image master, trainer, author of The Triumph of Individual Style. You'll hear directly from Carla in a bit. I've been working alongside Carla since 2003 in various roles in the company, and I'm also her daughter-in-law of 20 years. So here we are. Let's move along. Here's what you're going to learn today. First, you'll hear directly from Carla about her own journey and the key lessons learned along the way. You'll get an inside perspective on how seasonal style and the personal image industry developed, the 7 critical steps you must take to succeed as an image expert, also known as personal stylist or image consultant, or really any career that's related to the image field. You'll learn about a proven path to success, so why reinvent the wheel? The number 1 most common mistake made by image consultants that hold them back. The answers to the most common questions we get asked, and how to overcome isolation and find the support you need to succeed. So make sure you stay right to the end so you can get the PDF cheat sheet and checklist with the information we'll show you today. There's no need to take notes if you stay with us. So here is Carla to share her story with you.
Hello everyone. I'm so glad you're here, and I am really delighted to share my story. Here I am, age 25. I started out on a pretty conventional path that wasn't at all related to personal style and image. I attended college to get my degree in theater arts with a minor in English, got married, had 2 children, and became a high school English teacher. But then something came along that changed the course of my life. During my first year of teaching in the fall of 1960, yes, do the math, 1960, Julie Rogers, a teacher across the hall from me, gave me a gift of having my colors done by a woman named Suzanne Cahill. I had no idea what to expect, but she told me if I liked it, I was to pay it forward to another person when I could afford it. Little did she know I would spend a lifetime paying it forward. In case you haven't heard the name Suzanne, Suzanne was the pioneer of the personal color analysis and seasonal style. So she started giving color analysis in the basement of Vincent Peale's Marble Collegiate Church in Manhattan in 1942.
Carla, can you tell us who was Vincent Peale and why is that significant?
Well, Vincent Peale wrote a landmark book called, let's see, what was it?
The Power
of Positive Thinking that's still read today. It's a great book if you haven't read it.
Wow, how appropriate that this movement started in the basement of his church.
That's
fascinating.
Right. So when I had my colors done, I felt I was in the presence of greatness. And I was. Suzanne was magnificent. Barely 5 feet tall, she had flaming red hair. And after her dramatic entrance into the room, she sat enthroned behind a rainbow of colors spread out on the table. Her voice, with dulcet tones, modulated. She was so dramatic that we knew we were in the presence of a magnificent person. Interesting, the color palette she designed for me really was true. I loved it. Beyond that, she told me I fit the winter seasonal style category and explained how I should dress to show my elegant drama. For the first time, actually, I felt that someone truly saw me and intuitively understood who I was. This experience awakened a desire to learn everything I could about this work. I paid for as many sessions with her as we could afford, and then eventually began assisting her and even teaching her workshops. Now, Suzanne believed that no one else could ever do the work she was doing because it was so intuitive. Not one of her proteges and assistants could think of attempting to give colors or telling someone what season they were. The thought of getting it wrong and possibly ruining someone's life was unthinkable. Now, there were a few maverick individuals who tried to copy her work, but they were quickly discounted, never to be spoken of again. Just for information, how many of you have heard about the style seasons? Could you write that in the chat box? And for instance, were you typed to summer, autumn, winter, spring, or all of the above? Write that there as well. Thanks. I'm going to give you a quick peek into how the style seasons became such a large movement after Suzanne pioneered it. In the 1950s, a woman named Jerry Pinkney was teaching sewing, tailoring, and clothing design at her Costa Mesa Fashion Academy in California. She heard a lecture Suzanne gave in Pasadena, California, about the colors of the seasons. Jerry was fascinated and thought that was a great idea, and she introduced the seasonal color ideas from Suzanne's lecture into her classes. She designed 4 color palettes from paint chips that she got from different paint companies. Then, Carol Jackson in Tennessee saw a Fashion Academy ad Jerry had placed about becoming a personal color consultant. Carol flew to California, took the course on seasonal color, went back to Tennessee, and wrote Color Me Beautiful, that spread the world around the world like wildflower. Not flower, but wildfire.
Yes, it looks like a number of people have heard of the seasons and have been typed, all different categories. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing that.
There's value in Color Me Beautiful, and the value was simplicity. Everyone with black hair was a winter who wore jewel-toned colors. Everyone with blonde hair and blue eyes was spring who wore peach, coral, tinted spring green. Any redhead or brown-skinned person with yellow-green eyes only wore rust, olive, teal, gold, and brown, while anyone with pale pink skin, gray-blue eyes, and taupe blonde hair wore muted, misty, cool colors. Because of that simplicity, here in the USA, this movement peaked many years ago. People just grew beyond these simple formulas. They just didn't seem to feel right for everyone. But it was and is a good starting point, and still being used widely in some countries. When these derivative works came out, Suzanne was furious. She set about writing her book, Color the Essence of You, published in the early 1980s. It was sad, but at the last moment before publication, she pulled any information that could have made it possible for others to understand her work. So the book ended up being a very expensive picture scrapbook of what people in each season looked like. And soon after publication, she started her academy to train color consultants to give color and a seasonal reference based on coloring alone. So now you have some perspective on how the seasonal color reference developed and grew. Back to my story. In 1969, my husband's work with IBM took our family to London for 2 years. I started noticing how many women I met seemed to lack awareness about their beauty, styles they could wear, or colors that looked good on them. So I decided to start helping friends by painting a color palette for them and trying to give a seasonal reference. I realized I was able to do this. Amazing! I thought no one but Suzanne was supposed to design a palette of colors. After I painted a watercolor palette for someone, we'd go window shopping to discover styles that would fit their body and seasonal reference. And often those styles didn't relate to what Suzanne had said that seasonal style should wear. But soon I felt limited by the seasonal reference I'd been taught and began to experiment with new methods of analysis. I had been limited to the parameters I was taught for seasonal styles, but this formulaic approach didn't seem to work much of the time. I kept feeling like there was more. As I thought about color and personality, music and dance came into play. If the voice was rich and deep, then I chose deep and rich colors for that person. If the voice was light, I chose lighter colors. Here I've shown some brief examples of this. If the personality was lively, I chose higher intensity colors. And if the personal countenance was quiet, I chose lower intensity and muted colors. Clients seemed to resonate with the colors I chose. Again, curious. Maybe I was on to something. The choices I made seemed to support the whole person. Well, after a few years in London, we moved back to the United States. And even though I was able to help women while living in London, I could not imagine leaving Suzanne and forging ahead on my own. I tried charting other paths. I started an interior design business. I was self-taught. There were books that told how to do this. Returned to graduate school to get a master's in opera performance. I taught voice, piano, violin, and spent years being a stay-at-home mom. and assisting Suzanne when she would fly into town. But then I made a new friend who had similar interests in color, literature, design, psychology. She encouraged me to leave Suzanne. Ooh, yikes! Leaving my mentor and the idea of experiencing her anger and rejection was really scary. But I had a burning passion to explore this work and share it with others. So I left the safety of following Suzanne and forged ahead on a new adventure with Patricia. We started our personal color and style business called Color Spectrums. She handled the finances and I worked with clients. Over these years, since I left Suzanne, I made a number of key discoveries that I want to share with you. First, I observed that what Suzanne taught and spoke about and lectured and what she did was actually different. Many have followed what she taught to the T, but I started practicing and building upon what I saw her actually do. As I practiced, I realized that the seasonal color formulas were just too simple. People are more complex than one season and a limited range of colors. For example, one family of redheads had been declared autumns by Suzanne and given the autumn color palette. Years later, I would work with each of them individually and found that each personality or presence was so different. From firecracker, more like dramatic winter, to mellow, more like summer, to bright and cheerful, more like spring. They'd been pegged into seasonal color references based mainly on their obvious coloring, not taking the rest of their personality, voice, and movement into account. It's just not that simplistic. I didn't want to put people into limiting boxes. Interesting though, I do find the seasonal reference, if it's based upon personality, can be helpful. I also discovered that each person intuitively knows what is good for them. This is really important. They just don't have the language or tools to access their intuitive knowing. I realized that my responsibility, and every personal stylist's responsibility, is to help this client, help you remember what you have forgotten about your own beauty along the way. There needed to be a language for all I was discovering. So I found an informational designer named Helen Connor, and she and I began what would become a 10-year journey, 10 years to write The Triumph of Individual Style, a guide to dressing your body, your beauty, yourself. We applied the universal language of art to the human body in a way that had never been before explored. Now, for centuries, works of art had been appraised using the design elements of line, shape, proportion, scale, color, and texture. But for the first time, we identified a unique body's design for every individual. We are all works of art. Creating and publishing the book was a huge expense of time and money. My husband and I so passionately believed this book needed to be published that we took out a second mortgage to pay for it. Whoa, yikes. That's why I call him Saint Robert. Here I am with the one and only Oprah Winfrey at the original book release. That was a huge milestone. Eventually, the book was picked up and published by Fairchild from Condé Nast. I needed the tools to work with clients when I started. Nothing really existed at that time. So I did this all by myself. I went to Los Angeles, bought thousands of dollars worth of quarter yards of fabric. A friend took 6 months backing these fabric samples and cutting them into these small rectangles, had special cases made, and set up the studio with thousands of color swatches, organized by hue and stacked in custom shelves. All I needed to take them somewhere was a pickup truck. And I also wrote and developed materials to work with clients. It was a huge effort and investment. And at the time I was developing these materials, there was not desktop publishing. It was going to a printer. But the good news is that you don't have to do that anymore. Just to give you a sense of my journey to today, here's a brief bullet point version. Stick around, because I'm going to let you inside a few crisis points that I faced recently, common struggles you will also likely face, and the key that got me through. At this point, my business grew. People started to seek me out for training. I became a founding member of A.I., Association of Image Consultants International, the largest in this field, and as I mentioned, wrote and published The Triumph of Individual Style. I went from training future leaders in my home, on my back porch, in the dining room, in my little studio, to teaching image consulting around the world. Here I am in many of the venues where I was honored to speak and train. It was and is my passion to spread this work. Meanwhile, I still maintained a thriving client practice of my own. I had the great honor of training Christina Ong when she came to the United States and stayed with me for a month. She went back to Singapore and has become a huge success now with her own training academy. Another wonderful woman I got to know and train is Eva Kirk from Austria. She has become Europe's first and only certified image master. She has a TV show and established her training institute as well. These are just a few of many whom I was honored to train. There are many, and it's such a joy to be a part of their journey to success, and I want to be a part of your journey to success. 2003 was the start of a new era. My husband and I moved to Los Angeles to expand the business with my son Eric and his wife Erin. They are at the helm of leadership. Thank goodness. Eric had grown up watching this work develop and saw lives being transformed. He was always cheering me on, hoping that someone would come along to help me make it a bigger, more expansive business. And no one came along, so Eric and Erin became passionate about this work and came alongside so more people, through training, equipping, and spreading the word, could do this work. They brought their own skills to the table. Eric as a visionary CEO, and Erin as a creative director with design and marketing expertise, as you have experienced. And together with a growing staff, we developed the Body Signature system of tools and the Stylist network, now used by personal stylists and image consultants worldwide. Erin, how many do you think are in our...
About 300 and growing.
Wow. So it was an exciting time, but there were some big road bumps to navigate ahead. An image crisis. Without realizing, I had gotten stuck along the way and lost my own style. Like a lot of women, as I aged, my body, hair, and skin changed. What worked when I was younger, especially the wash and wear, hair, quickie makeup, didn't cut it anymore at all. I was so proud of the fact that I could get ready in 5 minutes. Well, it didn't work as I aged. It needed more than 5 minutes and more skills. I hadn't kept up my own skills for how to age beautifully and look relevant in the field of personal image. Does this resonate with anyone? If so, would you write that in the chat box? Can anyone else relate? You can see how I evolved over the years, and it really didn't go in a positive direction, I am sorry to say. Now, if you're multitasking, come back here to me, because this next point is really important. Check the chat box. Do we have anything?
Yes, people are definitely relating. Sure can, absolutely. Yes.
Every stylist needs a stylist. I'm going to repeat that. Every stylist needs a stylist. That's right. Even me. As a sought-out image expert, I didn't have my own look polished, which was holding me back. How we look impacts whether people are attracted to work with us. I was missing out on opportunities. And this is the number one mistake that I see happen with image professionals. Like the cobbler who wears shoes with holes, is the personal stylist who does not keep his or her look polished, up to date, and relevant. It took me allowing myself to be humble and get help, my own personal stylist, to get where I needed to be. This is huge for those of you in the image field. You need to walk the talk. But most of us need help seeing objectively. I'm going to give you specific guidelines for how to do this in a few moments. Now I'm going to show you the transformation I had with my stylist help. Ta-da! It's amazing what makeup skills, the right hairstyle and wardrobe can do. I got rid of the conservative granny glasses, grew my hair out, followed the advice of my own personal stylist. I had to buy the tools, get trained using these tools, get products, and plan on maybe over an hour to get myself together in a presentable way. Together, my stylist and I created a lookbook with outfits that took at least 10 years off my age and helped communicate who I really am. But this was not the last hurdle to overcome. When the Great Recession of 2008 hit the United States, all luxury businesses suffered, including ours. People just didn't have the money to spend on personal image. It was more about survival. I'm curious, were any of you in what is known as a luxury business impacted during this recession? Type in the chat box, yes, and what your business was. The recession really challenged us to be sharper and smarter in everything we did. It was about our survival. In the chat box, do we have anything? And by this time, there were two families. Eric and Erin had started their young family. There were more mouths to feed, as you can see here, with their first child. They now have two. So each of the 7 steps that I'm about to give you were the steps that we followed and continued to follow, especially during this time. Following through on these is really important, which brings us to today. Let's get started with the 7 steps that will help you thrive as an image professional. The first step is to train with experts and to continue to train. This may seem obvious, but it is really a foundation. Then assemble your tools, practice and collect stories, create your best image, build your community, spread the word, establish your support system. Now let's look more closely at each. As we go through these steps, be thinking about where you are on each one. Even make a note to rate yourself from 1 to 10. 10 being you've completed this step and it's really all in place. And then if your number is not a 10, think about what is holding you back. Erin's going to walk us through these steps.
Hi again. So to become an image expert, you must train with experts. Most of you watching have probably already completed this step. So congratulations to you. This is foundational. Now it's important to choose a training program and instructors who resonate with your personal style and approach. For example, if you prefer a more structured and formulaic approach, find a teacher with that style. If you like a deeper and more intuitive approach, find that style. You can usually discern this by looking at a website, looking at their social media, talking with the trainer. Also, this helps you start to build a community, and a support system for going forward. There are a number of courses you can take in person or online. Here at the StyleCore Institute, we have several foundational courses. The Essential course, which a number of you have taken, is foundational. On site for 5 days, this is usually in LA, but occasionally offered internationally in various locations. The Complete course is 6 days and much more advanced. It really delves more into the psychological aspects of style and color and deeper into all areas of this work. These are both AICI certified for CEUs, which is continuing education units. Now, the Essential course is also available as a distance learning course, and we have a number of students enrolled in this program from around the world. The good news is that we will soon be launching an online complete course with video training. So if you are experienced or already have a foundational training and you want to broaden and deepen your skills, this will be a great course for you. It's going to be launched within a couple months. So you've just heard Carla's incredible story, and if you want to train with a true pioneer in this field with decades of experience, you'll want to consider training with her. One thing I want to briefly point out is that the distance learning course package includes all the tools that the on-site course does not. So you'll get a lot of value in this course. Here on the screen, you can see the tools that are included in this course package. You'll have your course notes and materials. You'll have the digital Triumph of Individual Style book. You'll have a full access webinar pass to all the live and recorded webinars in our library, which is a list of 20 and growing. You'll get the client guidebooks, and if you get the color module, you'll get the Essential Master Color Set and TVR Selector. Okay, so you've completed the first and most important step. You've trained, you have certification. And we encourage you to keep learning, keep training and building on your skills no matter where you are at in your career. Be a lifelong learner. Let's take a look at step number 2. Assemble your tools and your toolkit so you can work with clients as a personal stylist and image consultant. Think about what you want to do and what you will need. Here's just a list of the basics: color analysis tools, guidebooks to use with clients. You'll need a place to work with clients, whether you rent it out or have it in your own studio. Your travel and consultation kit. That's a starting point, but you will need to assemble your tools.
This is Carla speaking again. As you heard my story, I had to create most of my tools from scratch. And now you don't have to do that. Remember this wall of color with thousands of color fabric swatches organized on shelves in a studio? It was a ton of work and money, and I was limited to the studio if I wanted to give color analysis, unless I had a pickup truck, remember I talked about that, and 2 hefty, strong men to move those cases up onto the back of a pickup truck. Other people use a selection of fabric drapes that are beautiful, effective in a small space, but they're bulky and well limiting because you can only carry so many. And for me, the main point for my not choosing that was that they get wrinkled, and I don't like to iron, and I don't like anything that it doesn't look polished. So, also, not all of the fabrics are really beautiful, and in the small fabric swatches, I could get many really beautiful fabrics. Honestly, the drapes weren't workable solutions for me. They are for some, but not for me. I needed a color system with lots of color choices that could be carried with me anywhere, and not just for me, but for all the people I trained. So with the help of friends, associates, and family, we created a new system that I've been using for the last 8 years and loving. Literally, I was ready to take the old system to the dump because it wasn't useful when someone couldn't bear it and took it off the truck. I don't know what they're doing with it. So here's what I designed, now used by image consultants and personal stylists around the world. It's portable, efficient, highly customizable, and convenient. The Level 1 Master Color Set is made up of 16 pre-designed color palettes. In Suzanne's lectures, she used 4 different types of spring, 4 different types of summer, 4 different types of autumn and winter. And that was a really helpful system that she used. I simplified that and made it much more useful to support the personalities of people. So I have 16 coordinated units of color. These can be they're hand assembled, they're based upon natural coloration, and each palette is customizable. In other words, from these 900 color fabric swatches and sticks, you can mix and match sticks from one set to another set. So it's easy to really support an individual. With the 16 alone, without customizing, this system is ideal for groups and setting where time is limited. Color palettes can be given as quickly as 15 to 30 minutes per person. So for the stylists who are just starting out, this is easy to use and effective. And the custom palette cost is around $52, is it?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
At this point. So it's reasonable for clients. Then the complete master color set is more comprehensive and much more customizable. The 1,370, I think it is, fabric swatches are organized into 12 categories. I designed this using the entire color wheel. Each color hue group is divided into resonance, ranging from light to dark, saturated, washed, tinted with white, shaded with black, toasted with brown, muted with grays and complements, warm neutrals, cool neutrals, pastels and shirtings, metals, and a wide range of neutralized colors that include hair, skin, and eye hues. This system is ideal for in-depth individual analysis and full-service consultation and requires training to use it effectively. I teach how to use this in the complete course.
Yeah, and there's a little note here, watch the how-to webinar. There is a webinar that sort of shows you how to use each of these systems. It's not enough alone to learn it from start to finish, but at least gives you an idea so you can decide which one you might like to use.
Many image consultants like to use the TVR selectors, which help quickly determine the client's temperature, value, resonance as well. These also use real fabrics. Briefly, I'll give you an example of how to use this system. First, use the TVRs to select the temperature, value, resonance of your clients. This gives you a starting point and a direction. For instance, if you find that your client is mostly warm in temperature, but looks better in muted colors, then you're going to find the palette that is warm and muted. Then use a master color set to design the custom palette. And finally, order the strips you select for your client at our StyleCore website, and it will be assembled and shipped wherever you want it to go. You can also use guidebooks with your clients during consultations. The ones I've designed over all these years cover all the areas you want to walk through with your client, and you fill in the blanks to customize, and the client takes it home. The client can either come back to get the palette after you've ordered it from you, or you can have the palette shipped to her at a later date. We have 3 different levels of guidebooks, from Essential, that's the yellow one, which is more basic, to Professional, that's the blue one, which is designed for corporate and professional style, to Complete, which is the coral one. The Complete is 57 pages and quite comprehensive. These 3 are available for women, and we have the Essential and Complete guides for men. Some of these guidebooks are also translated into French, Spanish, and German. Now, Erin's going to talk about step 3.
So step 3 is to practice and collect stories. Practice is obvious, and we'll talk about what collecting stories means in a bit. I realize that some of you with us today have been working with clients for a long time, others for a short time, and maybe some not much at all. Well, there's something for each of you in this step, no matter where you're at. The only way to become confident is through practice. Find your clients, or if you're just beginning, find your volunteers and practice until you're confident. Also, ask for their constructive feedback and review afterwards, and then apply that feedback as you continue to practice. Again, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing this a long time, it's always a great idea to collect stories and testimonials that you can share with others who are considering your services. So ask your clients or your volunteers to share how the experience was for them. Ideally, have them email it so you can have it in writing. If you share this in your marketing with their full name, be sure to get their permission first. Also, prospective clients like to see before and afters, or at least see pictures of clients after being styled by you. It's a great idea to display these on your website and update them every few years. Creating effective before and afters really takes skill. Here are some tips that we've learned so far. Find volunteers or clients for your before and afters who have good potential to show a striking difference. Select people who your target audience will relate to. So if you want to work with, for instance, male professionals, find a guy who fits this genre. If you want to work with mature women or women in their 30s, find this woman for your before and after. Also, establish an agreement in writing up front, like a photo release form that you can share their before and afters when you're finished. So first, take a before picture in a well-lit place against a white background or a wall. This photo should represent them fairly accurately in their standard look, not overly dressed up at their best, and not overly dowdy compared to how they usually look. Next, give them a consultation. Then apply the principles that you discovered during their consultation to hairstyle and grooming. Often we find that small changes can make a big difference. For instance, tweezing eyebrows professionally is a huge thing. A fresh, updated haircut and style. Sometimes it's growing out their hair. Guide them to look current and age appropriate. That's a little tip when I talk about fresh haircut and styles. It's good to find a person for your before and after that doesn't have hair too short, because then you really can't show a big difference. Now here's an important tip. Go with them to the salon when they get their hair done and take a picture of the hairstyle you want and put it out so the hairstylist can see and follow it as a guide. One of the biggest mistakes is sort of flashing a photo and then putting it away and expecting a stylist to remember without having it out to refer to. So I always put it right out on the counter there. Also, they can get carried away with their own ideas and preferences rather than what you want them to do and the hairstyle that you have showed them. Now, finally, you're going to go shop with your client for 1 to 3 complete outfits that are fabulous and will photograph well. They should have some wow factor. So not outfits that are too neutral and quiet for these examples, but also still representing your client's style. In other words, if you're choosing between, say, a white work shirt versus a stylish red top that has some drama and wow, go with the red. It's going to photograph better. Now plan for your after photo shoot. You are the art director. Get a pro photographer or someone that does it well. Consider trading services with a photographer if you can't afford to hire one. You need to make sure your client looks great. Hair, makeup, wardrobe. Have the client's makeup done and hairstyle professionally, unless that's a really strong skill of yours. You're going to use the best photos as your after examples. And here's some pictures of some during and after with one that we did some years back. Now it's time to share. At the end of this process, get a testimonial from your client. This is collecting a story about how it was for them. Use the positive aspects of that as part of the story you will tell. Plan to post the before and after photos on your website and social media. And these will go a long way towards drawing prospective clients to you if they are effective. And that's a big if. If you're not sure they're effective, get another opinion from your style mentors.
Haven't you seen before and afters? This is Carla. That you really like the before better? We don't want that to happen for you.
Yeah, it's pretty important to get a second opinion and make sure you're getting the effect that you want with that.
Here I am speaking again. Step 4 is to project your best image. Your own personal style is your best or worst advertisement. As I shared, I lost mine along the way, and it was not good for business. As an image professional, you should stand out in a room as a person with exceptional style. You need to have that wow factor in every time you walk out the door. The grocery store, wow outfit. The gym, wow outfit. The presentation, wow outfit. Going shopping, You need that outfit for every time you show up in the world. Most of us need a second opinion and another pair of eyes to see ourselves objectively and attain our best personal image. Even I have a personal stylist. It's just a tool that I have to have in order to be current and effective. We can't stress the importance of this enough. If you want to get clients as an image expert, you need to walk the talk. Now, look at the woman in this illustration. Like many of us, she looks in the mirror and no longer sees herself objectively. She still sees the younger, thinner version of herself. She doesn't necessarily see that the styles which worked on her body before are no longer flattering. I had this happen to me. I kept seeing myself with a small waist, and over the years the waist went away, and I kept trying to wear the same clothes I wore before. That doesn't work. Seeing yourself clearly takes practice, but most importantly, it takes help. Even I can't do this without help. I need someone to help me evaluate my image. So here's a 3-step method we've discovered that does the trick. First, get a full-length photo of yourself in each outfit with hair and makeup done, from the front view, side view, and back view. Pictures ensure you don't miss the details. Then, analyze, plus feedback from style mentors, refine, and get more feedback, then complete the look.
This is Erin speaking again. So here is an example of this process with photos. First, you have step number 1, analyze. Good start, needs accessories, and this is a photo. Let's imagine we're looking at a photo of yourself. Good start, needs accessories, maybe needs some tights, different color shoes. Step 2, refine. Found a great necklace, added tights, different shoes. Maybe for the refinement could use a touch more accessory. Step 3, complete. Found a great necklace. We had already found that, but we added bangles and a signature ring. Now you're ready to take your finished picture to have in your lookbook. Speaking of lookbooks, who here has taken photos of your outfits for a lookbook or an Instagram or a blog? Write it in the chat box if so. Curious to see if this is a tool that you all have used yet or not. This really is a tool that we use regularly, both Carla and I, and with clients. It's really easy to have an album of pictures on your iPhone or your smartphone, and then just look through it and choose each day for the right situation, and to update it each season.
So Erin, how often do you do this, and how long does it take?
Yeah, I would say, you probably need to take at least a couple days a year. Now, if you're an image expert, this is your job. So you do actually need to set aside time for this as an image professional, that your image is your biggest advertisement. So set aside at least a half a day here and there to get those pictures. And, Carla, you say front, side, and back. Well, that can be quite difficult to get the side and the back yourself. That's the extra mile, but at least do the front. You can see this little picture on this screen where I did a lookbook before I was traveling somewhere, and I just shot it myself with my iPhone standing and facing the mirror.
I know, and if you have a style mentor or a friend who has a really refined eye, they can see the back and see if there are bunches and crinkles and parts of the outfit that needs to be improved.
Yeah, we have some other people relating to that. Yes, you have shot your lookbook. Some say, nope, haven't done a lookbook yet. Okay, so part of step 4 is getting really great photos of yourself to put out in the world. These are some examples from our graduates and stylists. of great headshots. The picture you select should be representative of you and your style, and also the target client that you want to attract. The goal is for your target audience to see your picture and believe that you know what you're doing, you've got strong personal image, and you can help them achieve theirs. Here's the step-by-step to getting your best photos. Number 1, pick a photographer you like who makes people look their best and well lit with an aesthetic that matches you. Check out their portfolio. See if you like the way they capture people. Also, consider a trade if budget is difficult. For example, you might offer to do a closet edit or a shopping session with them in exchange for a photo shoot. So, also an important point is recruit a friend, a fellow stylist, or a fashionista, somebody who has a great sense of style and a good eye to help you on the day of the photo shoot, to be a second pair of eyes, to be able to look and say, oh, you know, the jacket is twisted to the left, or there's a hair sticking out of place, or that pose is not your best, let's try some different. So it really helps to have that second person there besides the photographer. There's only so much the photographer can see and focus on when they're snapping away. So getting your best shots, you definitely need to have great hair and makeup approved by your style mentor. This is not necessarily the time to try some crazy new style or new makeup techniques. You want to know that what you're going to get in these pictures is like your tried and true looks. Take photos in a variety of outfits and looks that flatter you. Make sure to get plenty of friendly, approachable pics. Clients will be attracted to friendliness, not aloofness. So you can see these are some pictures that Carla and I have done of different photo shoots, different vibes, different looks. Now, for medium close-ups, be sure to feature plenty of interest around your neck and face. Otherwise, it will look bare, unfinished, and unstyled. So the two examples on the left of Carla and the beautiful Quinn Young in Beijing, they both have really nice accessories. You see the beauty of their outfits next to their face. So nicely frames them and, presents them as a stylish, put-together person. Now on the right, you have two ladies who are, nice looking, but very plain and simple. They're unaccessorized. They don't have that feature around their face to show that they're a personal stylist or an image professional.
Yes, to me they just look really nice, but nothing exceptional.
Yeah, there's
no wow.
And
here.
I bring this up because we actually see this a lot when we get different headshots. That's not something people always think through, but you really need to make sure you're going to show your style from your chest up in these medium close-ups. Here are some full-length and style shots that just really show more of the complete style essence of a person. On the left, you have Carla and her son, my husband Eric. In the center, the beautiful Kaitley Miley. And on the right, Angela Wayashi, also both graduates and stylists who've been trained by us. And they really have done a nice job of just capturing their style in these photos.
Erin, I love that Caitlin has her nail polish is so much a part of her accessories.
Yeah.
And remember, your nail polish and your toe polish must relate to the overall theme of your outfit.
Yeah, she thought through all the details there. That's excellent. So step 5 is to build your community. This is really about building relationships with clients and prospective clients. You'll create your website, and if you like to write, include a blog or a video blog if you like to do videos. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink. All this talking has my throat dry. So there are a number of easy do-it-yourself website builders right now that you can use, like they're called Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, WordPress, GoDaddy. You'd be surprised, even if you're technically challenged, how easy they've made it to set up a nice website using pre-existing templates. If you're really challenged technically, reach out to your friends, your community, your techie friends to help you with this step. Set up your social media, start posting regularly. Start accounts on maybe 1 to 2 social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. Now, also as a StyleCore graduate, you can feature your online profile on our website's Global Stylist search with your picture and your bio. And people can find you in your local area and reach out and connect with you to get to work with you. So again, this is really about building relationships with people. Here's a few social media tips. If you haven't already done it, select account names for your Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whichever ones you decide. And ideally, this will be the same name across the board. For example, ours is StyleCore Life on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook. So it's most effective to build the things that you post in your feed, to build it around your personality, around you. People want to connect with you. So pick 4 to 5 themes that you will share consistently in your different posts. For example, one theme you might do would be current trends, what you like, what you don't like, what's working. You might do before and afters. You might illustrate your style in different outfits that you put together. That's a great idea. Usually you have to have somebody else take that picture or put it on a tripod. Working with clients, show pictures of that, or out and about. And also show fun things, just fun, inspiring little snapshots of your life that people can connect with and relate to. My personal favorite of all of these is Instagram, and it's really conducive to our work because it's so visual. It's just a picture with some words. Be sure and follow other stylists, image consultants, and people who do this well so you can get ideas. Here's a glimpse of our account, our Instagram account, which we invite you to follow at StyleCore Life. So use social media to build relationships. Step number 6, spread the word. Tell your friends, associates, and family what you are doing. Send them to your website. Ask them to spread the word. They want to help most of the time. This is where you'll invite followers on social media. You might host a launch party where you can feature some of your services to friends and guests. Maybe do a drawing with prizes for your services. Different group events. As you spread the word, visit with other local businesses whose clients could benefit from you. They're not direct competitors, but they're just related. And introduce yourself. Introduce your services. Leave flyers, cards with their permission. Make sure you look good. Make sure you've got your look dialed in when you go visit them. Some of the types of businesses you might want to connect with: hairstylists, spas, makeup artists, alterations and tailoring professionals, photographers, clothing or closet organizers, just to give a few examples. You might also consider hosting some group events like a clothing exchange or a color analysis party. You could offer free 30-minute introductory consultations for new clients so people can get a feel. Volunteer to give talks at women's group. Definitely, to spread the word, attend networking events. You've got to network. That is just a business basic for any business you want to build. So step 7 is really the most important, and we're going to go into that more in the few minutes ahead. Establish your support system. Find ongoing mentorship. Find your style mentors. Join professional associations. You can join mastermind and accountability groups. Those are like small groups of like-minded entrepreneurs, small business owners, where you can just check in, share your challenges, share your triumphs, network, share ideas. So it is really important to establish your support system. Now, in all of this, there's this quote that I want Carla to read that really sums up the most important.
Unless we touch the hearts of our clients and help them see themselves as beautiful, we are not going to be a success.
So this is, it's really about touching hearts. Please remember, this step, this 7-step process is not just theory. This is exactly what we did to launch and build our business. It's exactly the same principle if you're just getting started or you simply want to continue building on what you have created. We use these steps to help achieve the success we've had globally in this field. It's all about you having the freedom to do what you love and making an income doing it, getting rid of any fears and confusion about how to build your career, having the ability to empower people to look and feel great about themselves. As we like to say, changing the world one body at a time. So I'm not sure why you showed up today, but we're really glad you did. It may be because you want to start your career as a personal stylist or image consultant. Perhaps you're already doing this work and you want a bit more effectiveness for growing your business. Maybe you're not sure of the next steps to keep growing professionally. Or it may be that you just want to gain wisdom from someone like Carla who's had success working in the image field. But we hope you really get this one thing. These are the steps for building a thriving career in this field. And you can have the same success when you follow the same path. So the obvious question is, how do I apply this? Well, you have a choice. You can do it slow, using trial and error and some of what we've taught you today. Or you can do it fast by using the resource that we will show you next. Albert Einstein said, everything in life should be as simple as possible, but not simpler. With that in mind, we're going to show you a way to do all of this as simply and effectively as possible. Over the years, many of our graduates have asked for an opportunity to be mentored by Carla beyond the training courses. And this has been challenging with Carla's teaching and travel schedule, but we've really been thinking about how to come alongside you and support you in mentorship. So we're really happy to have found a solution to share with you today. This week, we are launching the program for image mastery through mentorship with Carla. This program will give you the support you need to follow through on the 7 steps we've just reviewed together. This is designed to support you as image professionals with personal development and the career growth you want through ongoing mentorship with Carla. It's important to us that you can find the fastest and most effective path to image mastery, to thriving and sharing this work successfully. This program will help you do this, give you guidance, a path, support from those who've gone before. Not this. Or this. We do not want you jumping off the cliff into who knows what on your own. So what exactly is it? This is a mentoring program with Carla designed to support individuals just like you. You've received some training in this field. You are building a career as an image professional or desiring to. You have been working in this field and you want to learn more from a master and get mentored. Or maybe you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or isolated, and you simply need some encouragement to keep moving forward. This is how it works. Every month, there are 2 interactive 90-minute group mentoring sessions with Carla. These are held in a webinar format, and each session focuses on specific topics to help you develop as an image expert with a thriving career. So even if you can't come to the live session, you can still send your questions and your photos in advance. You'll get the recording to watch and listen anytime. All you need is a computer and internet. So let's go over the benefits. The biggest benefit is that you get to be mentored by Carla Mathis. You're going to get 2 90-minute group mentoring sessions every month. You'll get membership to a private Facebook group to share questions, ideas, get answers from Carla. And then VIP members get 1 to 2 private mentoring sessions with Carla. Free access to both live and recorded webinars, 20 topics and growing in our library. 5% off tuition for on-site courses with Carla. 5% off a complete consultation with Carla, and 10% off tuition for online courses, which, as I mentioned, are launching very soon, including the Level 3 complete course. So some more benefits are that you're going to really get answers and support in these areas, in launching and business building, setting your goals, next steps, checking in, working with clients, and all the questions that come up there. Refining your professional image. You can send photos to get input on your looks and outfits. Getting the word out, marketing, giving group events and presentations. Remember step 4 of the 7 steps, projecting your best image, and Carla's own story, every stylist needs a stylist. Well, this is going to give you personal style mentorship. You'll be able to email pictures of yourself wearing the various outfits you put together, and you'll get feedback from from Carla and myself, so that you can go through that 3-step process, analyze, refine, complete, and get to your best styles, your best image. And it's really very educational to even if you're not sending your picture, but you're watching her evaluate somebody else, you'll learn so much in the language and the observation of how Carla works with each person giving feedback. This input is really critical to seeing and applying the color and style principles to yourself. So the group mentoring sessions will be held approximately 2 weeks apart on a different time and day each month to accommodate different time zones. Normally it will be a weekday, although with some time zones you're a week ahead or a week behind, so it may fall on a weekend for you. Members will receive the schedule 1 month in advance, plus reminders several days before. You can send your questions and photos in advance, and each session focuses on specific topics pertaining to advancing your expertise and career. And as I mentioned, you'll be able to get the recording whether or not you're able to attend. So how much will this cost me? That's the big question. Well, at standard rates, it would cost over $500 a month for Carla's time alone, plus the added value of the All Access Webinar Pass, which is $200 plus and growing. In addition, the on-site course discounts are worth up to $171 each. So adding this up, the program would be priced at $6,000 or more annually. But it will cost you a fraction of that price, and you can get started today for just $147 per month, or save even more by enrolling in a 6 or 12-month subscription. So at a 6-month subscription, it comes out to $132 per month. A 1-year subscription comes out to only $115 per month. With membership, you'll get unlimited access to the full program, including the live group mentoring sessions and the members-only Facebook group. But you'll get much more. You'll get encouragement and mentorship with a highly experienced image master. You'll get connection and relationships with a community of other image professionals where you can connect, share ideas, and network through the live sessions and the Facebook group. And you'll really get that spark you need to keep moving onward and upward in your career. So here's some important questions to look at. How many spots are there? Only 30 members will be accepted into the program, and those spaces are already filling up. So we're down to, I think, less than 20, and spaces are still filling. So additional applicants will be waitlisted, and we'll let you know when an opening comes because it may fill up quickly. To qualify, you must have received some training in the image consulting or personal styling field, or have practiced with clients professionally for at least a year. How long will the program be available? Well, at this point, 1 year. This is a very special opportunity. Carla may decide to extend the program beyond May 2017, and we'll let you know. But she's really at a point in life where she wants to mentor and impart. I mean, she always has done this, but this is a very intentional, special program. And so at this point, it's going to be available for just over a year. And when are the first live mentoring sessions? Well, here's the dates for May. The first one's May 3rd, coming up soon, and the next one is May 16th. That gives you an idea of what to expect. So to get started, you'll select a membership plan, either the month-to-month, the 6-month, where you save $230, or the 1 year, where you save $384. Now, I want to be clear that included with all the plans, you're going to get the 2 every month live interactive group mentoring sessions with Carla. You'll get lifetime access to the recording of every session during your membership. So in other words, every session that gets recorded during your membership, you'll have lifetime access to that. And you'll get the access to the members only Facebook group to share questions and ideas and get answers from Carla. But now here's an important point. If you're multitasking, come back. I really want you to get this. Really want you to see this, because this is a time-sensitive point. When you enroll before midnight tomorrow, Friday, April 22nd, you will get the VIP package. Now, if you're just getting a 1-month subscription at this point, you'll get a one-time gift of 5 free webinars. If you enroll in the 6-month plan before tomorrow night, you'll get unlimited webinars every month. That's a value of $200 right there. You'll get a private hour-long mentoring session with Carla. That's a value of $170. You'll get 5% off on-site course tuition. That's valued from $142 to $171. So that's the 6-month plan. You'll get all that if you enroll before tomorrow night, midnight. If you get the 1-year plan, you will get the unlimited webinars every month. You'll get 2 private hour-long mentoring sessions with Carla. That's a value of $340. And you'll get 5% off on-site course tuition, 5% off complete consultation, and 10% off online courses. So you can see that there's a lot of value packed in to the 6-month and 1-year plans when you enroll before tomorrow midnight. Now, I cannot guarantee that all of these spaces won't fill up. It's hard to say when these spaces will fill up, but I think there will probably be a rush of enrollments tomorrow as the deadline nears, because the values of just getting that VIP package, it's not more expensive, but it's an early enrollment bonus. Now, if you just can't enroll before tomorrow night, you still get some additional bonuses. If you can enroll before midnight on April 28th, you can see these. In the 6-month package, you'll get the 5% off on-site courses. 10% off is not included there, but you will get 10% off the online, and you'll still get those benefits in the 1-year package, plus discounts on the complete consultation with Carla. So now I'm going to take you to the next how do you do this? So another question, what happens when I sign up? You'll receive your email welcome and confirmation, plus you'll get a short survey about the areas of support you're most interested in, because we really want to dial this into your needs. You'll get your invitation and schedule for upcoming live mentoring sessions, your invitation to the members-only Facebook group, access code to get your webinars, discount code for courses and consultations. Here's how the membership subscription works. You're going to choose your PIM subscription. That stands for the Program of Image Mastery through Mentorship. Choose your subscription, either a month-to-month or a 6-month or a 12-month, and you pay those in lump sum for the savings. Number 2, you will enroll using your credit card or your PayPal account. A little note on PayPal: when you check out, you'll have an option to just check out with credit card or check out with PayPal. If you check out with PayPal, you can actually apply there for funding, for a financing. So it would take a larger lump sum and allow you to finance it and just make smaller payments over time. So to sum up, if you want to break through all the barriers that keep you from succeeding and thriving, there's no better program to support you. If we had all this from the start, it would have saved us many tens of thousands of dollars and countless hours figuring things out the hard way. As a member, you'll get access to all this support on a regular basis and the input you need to grow personally and professionally as an image expert. Now, I just want to acknowledge, I see some questions coming up, and we are going to take some time to answer questions in just a moment. So hang in there. And as I mentioned, you can start today for $147 or get the 6 or 12-month package and really get a lot of added bonuses. So right away, you'll have ongoing access to one of 13 image masters globally and draw from her wisdom for your success. So right now, this is how you do it. Go to this page, thestylecore.com/PIM, PIMM. I'm going to go ahead and copy, and I'm going to put this into the chat box so that all you have to do is click on that link that you'll find in the chat box. I've just put it there. And that will take you to a page that's going to really just show everything I've just told you in a beautiful format. You could read it through. Scroll down to the bottom, find these boxes, and click one to select your membership option and to claim your spot. As I mentioned, spots are limited. We're already getting booked up, so you're going to want to get in there and get your spot before it fills up. So, for instance, if you select the 6-month membership or the 1-year membership or monthly, you'll then be taken to a page on our website. This is the enrollment page. Simply add to cart and check out from there. And that is how you will enroll. So you can have immediate access to Mentorship with Carla through this program. Click the link shown below here, thestylecore.com/PIM, or click the link in the chat box. Now we're going to take a few minutes for questions and answers, so please do type in any questions that you still may have for us in your question box. Beverly, I see a question for how many weeks, and I'm not quite clear what that is. If you could clarify that. Cindy.
Well, I think maybe, Erin, it's 6 months, 2 times a month, and then 1 year, 2 times a month.
Yeah, but if you had a different question, let us know. Cindy, you say, what are the webinars? They are not what's in the library now. Yes, they are. If you go to thestylecore.com, go to the shop, click on webinars, you'll see the full library of webinars. Those are there. People have to pay to watch those, but when you're in the program and you get that VIP bonus, you have all access. You'll just get a code that you could go there anytime, add it to cart, pay nothing, and get the link and watch the webinars. And once you have those webinars, you can just watch them. Lifetime access. So Beverly asked, how does one pay? And I think we did go ahead and answer that. Okay. And is your mentor Carla or one of 30 of her trainers? Good question. The mentor is Carla. I think that's...
Oh, yes. It is always... I'm the one. I want to impart what I have learned over the years. One of our goals is to digitize me, to film me, so there is a record that anyone can access when I am no longer around on this planet. I have learned so much and have so many important discoveries. There's only one of me, and I want all of you to have all that I know. So I am going to be the one working with you.
Yeah, and this is a little different from the classes in that it's really, what do you need and how can we help you? We want to see you succeed and thrive in this work through every step that we share today, the 7 critical steps that can help you thrive. So let's see if we have any. So Cindy, you ask, if you do month to month, you do not have access. Cindy, if you do month to month, regarding the webinars, you'll get a one-time gift of 5 free webinars. You'll get a code that you can use right away to go to the store and get those 5 webinars. But if you do and you'll have membership for that month, and when the month comes to an end, you'll have an option to renew to the next month. And
if there's a spot.
No, they'll have their spot.
Oh, okay.
They'll have an option to renew at the same monthly price, which is a little bit more for the month to month than it is for the 6 month or the 1 year membership. So the unlimited webinar, yes, comes with the VIP early enrollment in the 6 or 12 month membership. And then Cindy, you said, I thought I saw something about one of 30. Okay. Beverly, is it a set program over the year? I'm not sure exactly what your question means on that. Maybe you could clarify.
Well, actually, Beverly, because you'll, you'll have a survey that you send in, the program will be developed around the people in the program. So whatever your needs are, that will be addressed.
Yeah, we'll be helping you walk through your steps and your process. The dates and time will be given to you approximately a month in advance. So you can prepare to join the live sessions. You'll have time to plan that into your calendar. And Cindy asked, can you change to a 6 month after a month-to-month? No, you would need to remain, well, actually, let me think through that. Can you change to a 6 month after a month-to-month? Yes, you can, but you won't have all those benefits that are being offered right now in the early enrollment. So if that makes sense, let me just show you again. Here are all the, if you enroll before midnight tomorrow, you get the VIP package. So yes, after a month, you can purchase a 6 month membership, definitely. Hope that answers your question. Okay, are there any other questions again before we wrap up?
This is Carla again. I would so love to come alongside you in mentorship and empower you to grow and thrive in this work. My feeling is if I can give you all that I have learned, then you can move forward from that and give that away, give that forward. Well, after I am gone and you are still on this planet. So I encourage you to commit to that 6 or 12 month plan. Sorry, but the reason is that not only that there are major benefits, but you'll be taking a step to commit to excellence and to follow through and have someone come alongside and be your cheerleader. So you carry on to realize your dreams, actually. There's a reason you're doing this work, and we want to make sure that you run the course and stay the course. And I would just love to be here to help you do that.
Yeah, that's really, being committed for the long haul is really what it takes to achieve success, as we've seen in your story. So another question from Beverly, will we get notice on what the seminar subject will be about? Yes, we will also give you advance notice about that. Good. Okay. Well, if we have any more questions, feel free. We will be here for a few more minutes just taking questions. Cindy asks, will we have access to the notes you gave in the webinar? Yes, you will. Stick around for a few more minutes. I'm going to upload a link. As soon as we stop the official recording, you get a special bonus for attending live today. So thank you, everyone, for joining today. It's been such a privilege having you. We value your time. We know that you have a lot going on. So thank you for taking the time to join us today.
And I also would like to thank the people that have already signed up. It's very exciting to me to know that there are those in the world that really want to make a difference.
Yes, let's take a look. Let's see. Oh, good. Welcome, Annette. Welcome, Kendra and Loretta. Just
Normine.
A few, yes, just a few that we can name right this moment. So thank you. It's so good to have you. And we will talk to you soon.